Hey, hey.
Work smarter where you want.
This is learning at its most fun.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another new partner spotlight. My name is Jonathan Maddock. I'm a trainer here at Redtail Technology. This week, we're going to be talking with Oranj. For any of you who are not familiar with Oranj, Oranj is the industry's first free wealth management platform, giving financial professionals everything you need to run an efficient practice and provide investors with an interactive and engaging experience. With me today, I have VP of Sales, Adam Stolz. Welcome, Adam. Appreciate you joining me today.
Thanks, Jonathan. Happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited about your guys' partnership. Last week I was at a conference. I saw your guys' platform, and I'm very excited about the technology that you guys are offering up, and especially the way that it works with Redtail. So, not going to really hold back. I'll just kind of give you the reins and let you kind of jump into it and tell us what you guys have going on over there.
Sounds fantastic. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen here now. So again, thanks to everybody who has taken the time out of your busy day-to-day to learn a little bit more about Oranj and about the partnership with the great folks at Redtail. So we're really excited to come to market with a solution that's integrated with those providers that do things really well. And I think Redtail has been an industry leader, pioneer for a long time, and we're a newer technology company in space, and we want to provide a turnkey solution for advisors that integrates with platforms that are central to their business, which is certainly Redtail. So what I'm going to do today is spend about 20 to 25 minutes introducing you to the Oranj platform, talking specifically at the onset about the integration that we have with Redtail, focusing there. And then expanding out a little bit into the broader capability set that we have to offer here at Oranj. Just at a high level, to paint a bit of a picture for you, so Jonathan alluded to it, Oranj is the industry's first free wealth management platform. We have not in any way pioneered the freemium model broadly that exists across the technology spectrum in many different facets of our lives day to day. But we're sort of doing things in a unique way by bringing this into the financial advisor community, providing a robust platform that advisors can get access to in a matter of minutes. You can go to our website, sign up, get your credential, and begin using this both within your practice internally, also with clients and prospective clients on the client-facing side within a matter of minutes as you begin to onboard. One of the things that makes that possible is the Redtail integration. It's really important for advisors to quickly, seamlessly add and sync their contacts into our platform, because that then drives a lot of additional capabilities that flow through the platform. So I'm going to come back to the homepage in a second, but I just wanted to kind of make that mention again. Broadly, what we're doing here at Oranj is we're driven by the mission of lowering the cost of doing business for advisors, again tied to the freemium model. But also lowering the cost of investing for investors, for advisors' clients. And the reason we can do that is because we also have a model marketplace. So not only providing free technology to advisors, we also have a model marketplace that provides no-cost strategist models other than the internal expense of those products. So low-cost ETFs and mutual funds built into strategist models from various providers, which I'll get into in a bit. Low-cost sub-advisory strategies, so minimal added expenses on the platform fee side and things of that nature, which is a fraction of the cost of some of the other TAMPs you might see out there. And then custom models that advisors can build themselves, again, only for the cost of the expense of the product. No additional platform fees or wraps associated with the types of models advisors can build on our platform. Before we get to all that, the way that the system works is it allows advisors to come into a white labeled solution and build out their contacts, their accounts, and their models. And that's going to then populate a lot of what you see here on the homepage. So if I jump over into contacts, the most important thing with a sort of a blank slate as you get into a platform is to bring in your contacts. And what better way to do that than syncing your Redtail account directly in here. So if you go into the Oranj platform, you jump from the home page to the context page and click import. The first time you go to the Redtail import, it's going to have your credentials sort of waiting to be entered in there. So you plug in your credentials. I've already done that on the sample here. And if you ever want to either create a new tag or update with any additional contacts that have been tagged with the Oranj tag that you've created, that's what we recommend. Create your own tag. I'm sure you're very familiar with that workflow as far as other integration points that you've had with Redtail in the past. Create a custom tag, tag those clients that you'd like to import into the Oranj platform, click next. That's going to then bring in a two-way fashion, mind you. So it's gonna sync when you've updated context and updated information in Redtail, so that data continues to flow through. It's not a one-time integration. As you're adding and updating and inputting new data into Redtail, that data is going to flow in to the Oranj client profile. And how you know that household or that account is connected, I have one option here where this client has not been, maybe this is a client that I've manually created or a prospective client that turned into a client versus a client that I've imported from Redtail. I should have a Redtail logo up top. I'm 0 for 2 on the first two that I took a look at. Let me just see and show you that. You will have a Redtail logo up there for the clients that you've imported from Redtail. In this case, these couple clients were not. So really straightforward as far as how you bring the data and how you manage the data. So nothing changes about your workflow today as far as managing your contacts, your CRM, and Redtail. All we want to do as far as porting that data in is to make sure that your contact database is pre-populated, and you can come in here and assign accounts and build out models and use Oranj for model management, for client engagement, for trading and rebalancing, and those sorts of things. So really straightforward from there as far as how you import your data from Redtail. Another option, as you saw with some of these contacts, I can upload a flat file, a CSV, an Excel file of contacts. And what a lot of advisors will do also, if they don't have a Redtail sync, for example, is you can also manually create contacts. When you're evaluating the Oranj platform, if you want to sync all your Redtail contacts from minute 3, great. You can always manage your contact list in the system as well. So if I imported too many contacts, I could re-import or import only that Oranj tag in subsequent syncs with Redtail, or you can just sort of locally delete those contacts. It's not going to delete those in Redtail at all, but you could clear out those extra contacts that you imported. Or what many advisors use the Oranj platform for as well is prospective client engagement. So we provide a portal through which an advisor could create a new contact right from here. Let's just play along in this case. So I could create the contact and save that. So first name, last name, email. My email already exists, so it's asking me to create a different one. Prospect in this case. So when I've created a prospect, you can see in here I have a list of clients and prospects, some of which I've invited to the platform, others that I've invited but haven't yet accepted their credential. So I could come in here and create a prospective client with a custom message. Again, this is going to be white labeled and branded for my firm, custom subject line and custom invite. And this is going to invite that referral or that prospective client to our platform for them to begin aggregating, for example, their held away assets even in advance of that first meeting with the advisor. So it provides a nice way for advisors to use this in a new business scenario and analyze the types of interactions and conversations they're having with a prospective client versus the kind of work that they're doing with the current client on the platform as well. So that really covers it. I mean, I probably spent longer than you even have to on the contact connection from that standpoint, but it's really straightforward. It's something that my team here at Oranj can assist with for any advisors that are looking to get set up and get Oranj implemented within their practice. So with that, let me take you back to the home page here and give you a little bit more insight into the capability set that we're providing to advisors and to their clients within Oranj. On the home dashboard, you get a good sense for the type of information we're trying to bubble up. We really want this to be an advisor's dashboard, something that's actionable in real time that they can use to prioritize their day, they can use it to wrap up their day, and they can use it throughout the day when it comes to investment management, when it comes to client communication and collaboration, and also trading and rebalancing. So on the homepage, I have a couple of action items. So we talked about inviting a single contact or single prospect. I can also do that in mass. So if I've imported all my clients from Redtail and I want to go in and invite all my clients at the same time so they can realize the benefits of the digital portal, I can absolutely do that. Or you can come in here and select multiple clients in this invite window with a custom message to invite them to use the platform. I also have a couple calls to action related to model management and model updates. Model updates are specific to strategists in the system. So these would be models, not that an advisor has created themselves, but models available from one of our 6 different strategists in the platform. So we have, and I'll take you right to that window just so you can kind of see, and then we'll go back to the homepage here. We have strategist models available from Anchor Capital. And the total list down here across all strategists is 58 items. So we have, as I mentioned, low-cost ETF and mutual fund models available from Anchor, from BlackRock. You can see the list of BlackRock investments and strategist models, as well as the breakdowns, right? All equity, all fixed income, and every breakpoint in between. We have strategist models available from Invesco, PIMCO, and WisdomTree, with others soon to come. So a really diverse list of strategist models available to advisors. These are turnkey and investable right from here. So I can add a WisdomTree model to my library, to my model library. And as soon as I've created a contact and brought in my client's accounts, I can assign this model right to those accounts. I can track to this strategist model, but it's important to note the advisor still rep as PM on these strategies. So that's what you were seeing on the homepage when the system told me that I had model updates. So the portfolio strategy teams at BlackRock and Invesco and WisdomTree and Anchor and PIMCO, they're updating those strategies, and then our system is bubbling up those updates to the advisor. So for every client account that's assigned to the 20/80, 20 equity, 80% fixed income, here are the updates that BlackRock is making on the portfolio strategy side. And as the advisor, they have the ability to accept or to sort of snooze that portfolio update, so to speak. So the advisor makes that decision themselves. We're passing that information directly from BlackRock or the strategist, and then our trading and rebalancing platform goes to work if the advisor accepts those changes. So, what we're trying to do with the platform is provide a diverse set of workflows and user experiences depending on what the firm is looking for, depending on what the advisor is looking for, while at the same time, just providing a lot of efficiency across the board for those advisors that are looking for a really kind of an end-to-end solution from a client engagement and model management and trading and rebalancing perspective. The thing I'd really like to show as it relates to trading and rebalancing, kind of getting into more detail on that, is just the efficiency with which you can log into the platform, right? Assuming you didn't forget your credential, which is a big if sometimes. I do it all the time. But log into the platform. I see right on the middle of the screen here my investments dashboard. I can see some my asset allocation. I can see investment performance, accounts I've added in the last 90 days, et cetera. But down here I have the system telling me that I have 86 accounts that are out of balance. And a really cool thing about not only being able to offer a free platform, but to be able to offer a free platform that does robust end-to-end trading and rebalancing is the fact that an advisor in a couple of clicks can filter down. In this example with my demo firm, I have over 1,000 accounts, as you saw, almost $1 billion in assets under management. But in 2 clicks, I've logged in, I've filtered down my list of out-of-balance accounts based on the account, the client, and the model that I've assigned. And then I can select all those accounts at once and choose to rebalance. I can raise cash. I can invest excess cash. I can do all that in less than 4 clicks. So the efficiency that the system can provide and the scalability that something like that can unlock for just your workflow end to end is certainly important to a lot of our clients, and hopefully you find it important on your end as well. Even if it's a subset of accounts, even if it's one custodian but not the other custodian, but if you're multi-custodian and have accounts at multiple different locations, our platform or any trading rebalancing platform that's sort of a third party that's not tied directly to the custodian can provide that consolidated source for you to be able to pull all that account and client data together, build your models, and in a really scalable way trade and rebalance right from there. There's additional account details that you're going to be able to see once you log in. We have balances and restrictions, do not sells and exclusions, and custom models and risk tolerance, and you have household building capabilities. From a model construction standpoint, you could build single security or multiple security models with a security model type. You could build asset class models with a class model, and you could also build models of models in our platform. So if you had either a group of 3 or 4 different security models, or an equity sleeve, a fixed income sleeve, an alt sleeve, and a commodity sleeve, you could blend all 4 of those together from a model construction standpoint, apply that at an account or household level, and trade and rebalance really efficiently in the platform. So we try to make it as easy to sort of get through some of those more complicated workflows as possible. So that gets to cash settings, it gets to order management, order history, it gets to trade types, whether you want to trade it via market order, limit order, whether your preferred workflow is to generate or download a trade file, which you can then upload directly at your custodian. That's certainly an option that a lot of firms take, or we can route trades directly to the custodian, either via one custodian or multiple via fixed connection pipes for straight through processing. So a lot of flexibility as to how you want to actually manage this workflow in the application, also how you want to take data out for execution at one or multiple custodians. So I always go back to the homepage, because I feel like the homepage is where a lot of advisors, I mean, by design, it's kind of your home base. It's what you see when you first log into the platform. It's what you see when you refresh the system, when you're looking at how clients are interacting. This activity feed here is showing not only updates that multiple advisors at my firm are making, but also updates to client-side workflows, or if a client has linked held away accounts, if they've initiated an account opening or transfer that they need me to take a look at, or if the form via DocuSign is sitting there ready for my counter signature to then get sent off to the custodian. All that information is being made available in the activity feed. Again, it provides another way for advisors to kind of prioritize what they're walking into in a given day and how they're taking action on their clients' needs and requests. I talked about client and prospect workflow a little bit earlier. One of the things that we've made available here at the bottom of the screen is average net worth history. So a way for advisors to look at how their clients and prospects are trending from a net worth perspective. If you're looking to target higher net worth prospects, you would expect the trend line on the green, assuming you're entering those prospects into Oranj or importing those from Redtail into Oranj, plus the clients that you've already synced from Redtail, you're going to see those lines trending in various directions, and you can take a snapshot over various time periods. So this is more just kind of a trend. If advisors are looking to use models in a models-based practice to provide more scalability to new clients, you might see the client trend line on the net worth side go down if you're working with second generation, third generation, fourth generation of an existing family, which don't have necessarily the same balances that maybe the first generation does, or maybe it's the opposite. Our platform can provide more insight into your practice as far as how it's trending based on the data that you've entered into the platform. And then certainly we want to promote, investment and a models-based practice if that makes sense for the advisor. So we're going to bubble up things like model distribution. So if an advisor has assigned a certain percentage of accounts across the spectrum of model types, when you create a model, we're going to tell you or allow you to enter what type of risk category that model is in, so you can see sort of the dispersion of accounts relative to the models that I've built. But you can also see assets and the asset breakdown. So I have a relatively balanced model lineup here as far as number of accounts, especially in the middle, moderate growth, conservative. If I toggle over to the asset-based view, you have a much different picture. So most of my assets, even though my number of accounts is pretty balanced, most of my assets are in moderate growth in this case, with moderate in second and aggressive in third. So you're going to get a little bit of a different picture there. And the goal with both of these is to provide that sort of trend so advisors can be aware of sort of what those business factors are doing, how that trend is developing within their practice. Let me spend a little bit more time in the model section just to give you some insight into what else we're doing here. I'll show you a little bit about model construction. I'll show you a little bit about system architecture, and then we should be really at the half hour and ready for some questions. So there are 4 different menus. I already showed you the strategist models. There are 4 different menus in our model marketplace. There's your library. So these are models that you've either subscribed to, strategist or sub-advised, or models that you've created. This is your practice level library, and then this is where you can come in from a portfolio assignment allocation perspective. I can view models that I've subscribed to in this case. I can assign accounts right from here to these models. I can also edit and make changes. Now, if it's a strategist model, the only thing that you could adjust is the allocation. You can't adjust and actually remove a holding altogether. You could always use a strategist model as a guideline for portfolio construction or model construction on your own custom model. But from the standpoint of BlackRock's IP, Invesco's IP, et cetera, it's going to be locked down to those investments that are available from their portfolio strategy team. However, if you had your own model in this case, and I wanted to make an edit and then filter down the list of affected accounts based on that model edit or based on any updates that BlackRock is making to their strategist model, I can quickly click on the filter. I see that I have, as a result of those changes, 1 account that's out of balance. I could run that through the rebalancer and take a look at those orders and take appropriate action based on that. So there's a couple different workflows that exist from a model management perspective. Certainly on the sub-advisory side, I'm sure you're all familiar with sort of the nuance and difference there between that and strategist models, but if you're not, sub-advised models in this case are going to be fully outsourced turnkey third-party management of your accounts that you assign to those models. So you're going to go through a full agreement process with either First Ascent, who's our first sub-advisor in the platform, or Vestmark. And Vestmark is going to be launching in the platform in a couple weeks, bringing about 500 total portfolio solutions, strategies to the sub-advisory marketplace. So that's going to provide a really expanded list of available options across the board for advisors to outsource investor clients' portfolios in. So you're agreeing with those individual managers, and Vestmark is doing the trading, rebalancing, the tax efficiency on your behalf and on the client's behalf in that case. These are the only strategies in the platform that come with any additional cost. The expense on the sub-advisory side, in addition to the product cost, would be anywhere between 15 and 6 basis points. So it depends on the size of the account, also depends on the manager. First Ascent has a different pricing model altogether. First Ascent's pricing model is $500 per account per year that's investing in one of their sub-advisory strategies, or $1,000 household maximum, plus 5 basis points, which is the Oranj platform fee. So again, 15 to 6 in that range, or a flat fee plus 5 is going to be hopefully some figures that are much improved if you've used another platform similar to ours in the past. And again, to access the sub-advised marketplace, to access the strategist models, to access custom models from our partner asset managers, there is no cost to the platform, period. That's a good segue into a model construction. So I mentioned the ability to create both single sleeve models as well as models of models. This is our newest feature and something that a lot of advisors have been asking for. Really easy workflow. So if I want to create a security model of models, it's going to give me every available option of security model I've already built, which is fantastic, because then I could come in here in a couple clicks, select my 2 models that I want to invest in, and I've created an entirely new model. Now the nice thing is as well, if this all fixed income 577 model, if this is a building block of 10 different models that I use across my firm, I can manage this sleeve outside of this model of models. I can blend it in 10 different models. But if I wanted to come back in here and remove the investment grade bond position and add maybe some additional high yield exposure, as soon as I made that change to the sleeve, that's going to flow through all 10 models that it's a part of. So it makes for really efficient model management, and it just reduces the heavy lifting that you're either doing manually or if you're doing model by model by model by model edits, you're saving 9 model edits by doing it once, and then it applies to 10 versus having kind of a bespoke model in each particular model and each particular client that you're working with. So from a model management perspective, it's going to unlock a lot of efficiency on that side of things. I also just want to make one mention. So we do have a premium subscription tier in Oranj that's above the free platform, and I just want to give you insight into what that looks like. So if I were to create a security model on the free platform, the one thing that you're not going to have access to when you're building models is any mutual fund or ETF manager from the start. Part of the reason we can offer Oranj to the masses for free is because we have partnerships in place with the asset managers you see across the top, many of which I've already mentioned in the strategist model lineup. So we partner with Aberdeen Standard Investments, Anchor Capital, BlackRock, Calamos, Direction, ETF Securities, which is a subsidiary of Aberdeen Standard Investments, Frost Investments, Invesco, Marsico Funds, Nationwide, Oppenheimer Funds, recently purchased by Invesco, so those lineups are coming together, PIMCO, and Wisdom Tree. So a really nice diverse mix of a lot of brand names that anybody up the street knows readily, other names that folks know across the sector, across financial services, and some that are specific to certain asset classes, within our universe. Marsico being one that comes to mind. Looking at large cap growth primarily in the U.S. and abroad. So lots of really good investment options, but for advisors that are coming in looking to adopt and bring in their own models from scratch, and that includes Vanguard, includes DFA, includes Franklin Templeton, other managers, on the free platform you don't have access to that. You have the ability to open up or unlock the marketplace, which gives you the ability to then use any mutual fund manager, any ETF manager, and also build individual equity, individual stock models. And the cost to do that, we're also kind of doing things differently on that side. The cost to do that is $395 per month. It's not an account-based or an asset-based fee, which most trading rebalancing platforms out there are charging. We're charging a flat fee, $395 per firm, not per advisor seat, not based on number of accounts, number of access points, anything like that. So your all-in cost for the sort of opened up Oranj platform for the Marketplace Pro option to be able to build any model that you want with any manager is less than $5,000 for the year. So it's going to help firms that are smaller and growing scale out and not worry about a pricing model that's going to cost them more and more each and every year as they grow their business. And for much larger firms, for firms that are established, that might be, they might get a proposal for a 5-figure or 6-figure contract for a trading rebalancing platform. Oranj's fee is flat, $4,740 per year, which is $395 times 12, and that's it. So, our goal, again, as I mentioned at the onset, trying to lower the cost of doing business for you, the advisor, and also trying to help your client save money on the cost of investment if you're using, either any of these managers, mutual funds, ETFs, strategists, or sub-advisors. And lastly, I'm just going to touch on this briefly. One of the things that my team will be able to help you with at any point during your evaluation or implementation of Oranj is getting the platform architected. I mentioned that it's white labeled, so you can brand it with your firm logo, your disclaimer, your bio. You can invite multiple advisors in the firm to the platform. You can set up permissions. So there's all sorts of settings that go into architecting your firm. You can build out your global trade settings, your minimums and notifications, your custodian settings. If you have one or multiple custodians and you want to link all those accounts into the platform, very easy to do from here as well. And lastly, I mentioned that we also facilitate account opening and transfer with select custodians. So TD Ameritrade and Pershing being two good examples of custodians that accept electronic signature via DocuSign. TD Ameritrade has their own DocuSign instance and facilitates that setup with advisors. We can pull in data directly from an advisor with TD's DocuSign account and help to create various funding rules, both for account opening and transfer, as well as custom account rules. And here, where I could say, if an individual brokerage is going to be opened up, Here's the custodian we're using. Here's the documents required for signature. I have my signing order. I have everything loaded in from that perspective to provide a turnkey experience. So again, all this drives off of getting the client data in and getting the account data in, and for advisors to be able to build and architect their models. But once you've done that, then you have this portal that provides a really efficient workflow for those various, in some cases, much more laborious tasks that an advisor has to go through. If it's manual tax loss harvesting or model management or trading, if it's filling out a bunch of paperwork and waiting for the client to come into the office to sign a document with a wet signature so that the custodian will open that account or transfer that account in kind, whatever the case is, our system can facilitate a more seamless experience there, thanks in large part to partners like Redtail, thanks in large part to custodians that do a good job of providing open architecture data flow and other third-party aggregation services that help to facilitate that as well. So in closing, just at a high level, we love to have conversations with advisors about this. We love to partner with our integration partners like Redtail. If there's an opportunity, if there's an advisor that has a need, we will throw as many resources as we can in helping you achieve your goals from that perspective. Every advisor that signs up to use Oranj has a dedicated sales rep and account manager. And myself as the VP of sales, I'm probably involved in more conversations than I care to mention, but in a good way, because it's really important to us that that advisors like what we're doing, like the partnerships, like the integrations, and see value in it. So Jonathan, thanks for having us again. Thanks for everyone for dedicating this time. And I think we'll open it up now to questions.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much there, Adam. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen back again. We do have some contact information here. So if you guys have additional questions, you can reach out to Adam. Is there a general line that they can reach you on or just support if they have questions and things like that?
Yeah. There's so I would say feel free to start. Feel free to start with my direct line. I'm also gonna, Jonathan, I can share
Sure.
our website as well. Okay. So it's the email domain that you see there. It's runorange.com. Runorange.com is and Jonathan, just not to toggle too far back and forth.
Sure.
But let me just show my home screen here real quick, just so everyone can get a sense. So here's the Oranj website. And here is right at the top. Here's where you can either go to log in if you have previous credential, or if you want to get access to the platform. So go to runorange.com, first name, last name, firm, email, and that's going to activate your free account. As soon as you fill out that information that's required, you're going to get an email that's activating your account in your inbox in a couple of seconds, and that's going to take you right into the platform, into the onboarding workflow. There's also contact information there for our general support line, helpline, so you have support and relevant information here as well as our help center that's tied into everything. So a lot of good insight and information in there. Jonathan, you can take it back now.
Right on. All right. Well then, good. So we have a way to reach out if we have questions. But then let's just go ahead and open it up for some questions. I didn't see any come through right now. But if you do have additional questions, feel free to reach out. One thing I did want to ask, and I thought that was interesting, I love your pricing model because I think it definitely gives smaller organizations kind of the flexibility to use a powerful software like yours, but also kind of keeps that cost down. You said it's $395 per database, which is awesome. How many is there a limit on how many users that they could have at that point, or is it just if they have as many, as long as it's attached to the database, they're good to go?
Yeah, there's no limit. So there's that in that administration section. You can add, if you had 10 advisors at the firm, you can invite all of them to use the platform under your profile and your main firm architecture. It's only that premium trading rebalancing is $395, at the firm level. So it's less than $5,000. All 10 advisors get access to it. It's not 5,000 times 10. So we often have to repeat it a couple of times, especially when you're talking to a bigger RA, because they're a little bit confused how we can sort of do that. And it's because of the partnerships, it's because of the integrations, because of those partners that we've gone to market with on the marketplace side that make it possible. So that's certainly a big piece of it. But we just think that the industry, has kind of gone kind of far down this path for a little while of all the asset-based fees and just that getting more and more expensive. It's also becoming more costly for an advisor to do business from a compliance standpoint. And their advisors are trying to bring on more clients and do more with the same time in the day, the same time in the week. So while the cost of doing business is going up, the cost of technology is also increasing. And we're trying to throw advisors a bone, to use a Redtail pun, from that perspective, and try to help out there. And we think, if we can do this successfully, and if others can follow suit, then we can change the industry more broadly. And that's our goal.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really good. I know on the double taking of when you tell pricing structure, I know for us, I've gotten that multiple times. They're like, wait, how many users? Wait, what? And so I definitely feel you there. That's awesome. Really appreciate you guys kind of making that plunge and trying to make the changes. If you have additional questions, again, feel free to go ahead and post those. Just since we don't have any questions, are there any frequently asked questions that maybe you didn't cover today that you would just kind of want to address right now? Is there anything that you can think of that is important for any listener wanting to get started that they can you can help them out with?
I think I covered, and I tend to tailor kind of my walkthrough to a lot of those.
Sure.
I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, I think one of the common ones, and I touched on it a little bit as far as the support model goes, is I think a lot of people assume that the platform being free, that you're going to kind of sign up and be on your own. But that's quite, it's kind of quite the contrary, right? With partnerships like we have with you guys and Redtail, you're going to have dedicated points of contact, of course, on the Redtail platform and for the integration. But on the Oranj side, what a lot of people are assuming is they're not going to ever get a call from us, or there's not going to be anyone there to help, or there's just going to be some kind of bland FAQs, and that's about it. We have a help center that's growing by the day, but we also have every advisor has 2 dedicated points of contact, and maybe even more, especially when I'm involved in those conversations as well. But 2 dedicated points of contact to help you get the most out of the platform. So we are going to call you if you sign up. We're going to call you within the day, probably within a couple hours, just to learn more about your business, learn about your goals and what you're trying to accomplish, and not be obnoxious about it. But if you want to explore it on your own, you can absolutely do that. As I'm talking, the other thing that's kind of a common misconception sometimes is the free platform only available for a finite period of time, and then if I don't subscribe to a premium service or use one of your partner managers, does it then just get shut off? And the answer to that is also no. It's we're looking for a captive user base in all different channels. And so unless you tell us, hey, Oranj, thanks for the evaluation, I appreciate it, I'm just not going to use this platform, I'm going to go in a different direction, we can deactivate your account from there. But it's not a trial instance. It's not something that has diminished capability or anything like that. The free platform is the live platform, and it's yours until you decide to part with it. We hope you never do, but we understand that happens from time to time in business, and that's maybe another aside or another FAQ that people ask us about a lot.
Thanks so much for joining us today for this particular session. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call at 800-206-5030, option 3 for support, or just shoot us an email over to support@redtailtechnology.com. Thanks a lot and have a great day.